They will be paying their bills with expanded unemployment benefits set to run out next week. Lawmakers left Washington on Friday before finalizing a deal to renew that economic lifeline after the coronavirus pandemic forced so many Americans out of work. Paula Reed is traveling with the president, who is spending the weekend at his New Jersey golf club, and she joins us now. Paula, good morning.
Good morning, Dana. The president is here in New Jersey as the White House and Republicans struggle to finalize their proposal for this next relief bill. Republicans say they want to scale back some of these jobless benefits, but they can't agree on exactly how to do that, leaving tens of millions of Americans in limbo. President Trump did not stop to talk to reporters as he arrived in New Jersey Friday night. While Washington is gripped in a contentious battle over unemployment benefits, President Trump tweeted about alleged spying on his 2016 campaign right before stepping off the plane. In an interview with Barstool Sports Thursday, President Trump made a rare admission of remorse, revealing that he often regrets his tweets.
We put it out instantaneously. We feel great. And then you start getting phone calls. Did you really say this?
He also lamented how COVID has impacted his chances of re-election.
We were sailing. George Washington would have had a hard time beating us. And then when the China virus came in, all of a sudden, it's a dampener.
With just over 100 days until the election, 30 million Americans remain unemployed in the wake of COVID.
The federal jobless benefits Congress approved in April, $600 per person per week, are about to expire. House Democrats passed a bill 2 months ago to extend the $600 payments through January, but Senate Republicans say they will introduce their plan on Monday.
In my view, it ought to be very much front-loaded toward immediate help.
But negotiations could take weeks, and on Friday, the Senate floor was empty.
Republicans are derelict in their duty, taking off for the weekend instead of being ready all these months without preparing something to begin with.
The president was banking on an economic recovery to propel him to re-election. But newly appointed Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien insists national polls, which consistently show Biden leading, understate the president's support. Most national polls continue to show the president trailing Joe Biden when it comes to seniors. And yesterday, the president signed several measures aimed at reducing drug prices. A short time ago, the president tweeted about those measures and reminded seniors to, quote, remember your favorite president. Later today here in New Jersey, the president will meet with supporters. Dana.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the video from CBS News. So does extra $600 in federal jobless aid really discourage people from returning to work? Absolutely not, because there is no work. So this is July 28th, 2020. As lawmakers negotiate another massive coronavirus relief bill, one key area of debate is whether an extra $600 in federal weekly unemployment benefits millions of Americans are getting to tide them over until the crisis is actually discouraging them from returning to work to lower paying jobs. That has prompted some Republican lawmakers to push for a reduction in benefits, arguing that the cut will nudge people back into the labor market and speed the economic recovery, which is false. In order for that to be possible, there would need to be enough jobs for everyone, and we know there isn't. Yet such concerns are misguided, some experts say. A July study by Yale Economists found no evidence that people who have recently lost their jobs are choosing to stay unemployed because of the sweetened federal jobless aid, and I believe that. Look, I'm around a lot of unemployed people just on my street alone. I never spoke to anyone that said they don't want to return to work because of the $600. This is just some garbage these Republicans have made up. In fact, they added workers facing larger unemployment expansion generally appear to be quicker to return to work than others, not slower. Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers and the Trump administration want to cut the $600 in weekly unemployment benefits to $200 a week, which is a joke. Okay, you got this economy, which is way overpriced. And now you expect people to get, they said the average unemployment is $375 plus an additional $200. Many of these, this amount will not cover a rent. It will not cover a lot of bills. This is going to leave a lot of Americans in financial trouble if you reduce it down that far. So this is what, these are a bunch of rich guys. They don't care about no one else. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, this proves these politicians absolutely do not care about the people at all. If you don't see it, you don't want to see it. This is the proof right here. They are in office for their own self-interest and the interests of their other rich buddies and these major corporations. But when the people are unemployed at no fault of their own, they don't want to help you. In fact, they're looking and trying to find ways to take money away from you. According to the Washington Post, the lower payout would provide a financial bridge until states can set up their unemployment systems to provide workers with 70% of their income they earned before they lost their jobs, the Post added. The $600 in weekly benefits is due to end July 3rd. It's already ended, after being authorized by the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act in March. The debate over unemployment benefits come as the nation's jobless rate remains at its highest level since 1948. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the economists are saying this unemployment trend is going to go on all through 2021. It's not going to get better. All right, back to this. All right, so the debate over the unemployment benefits come as the nation's jobless rate remains at the highest level since 1948, when the federal government began tracking it. With 25 million people collecting unemployment, the expanded benefits have been credited with keeping many of them afloat and out of poverty. All right, so the state's jobless aid typically replaces just 1/3 to 1/2 of workers' average weekly pay. At the same time, the $600 in extra pay has become a sticking point for some Republicans who are voicing concerns that the generous benefit would actually hamper the economic rebound if employers can't find workers willing to give up their jobless benefit. This is false. This is false. They are basing this on absolutely nothing. Okay? I could see if you had reports showing that people are refusing to go to work because of the $600. These Republicans have absolutely nothing. They don't have no report that says people don't want to go back to work over this $600. Get out of here. They don't have that. We want folks to go back to work. Well, put the jobs out here and people will go back to work. You don't have enough jobs listed out here for everybody. How about tackling it from that end? White House advisor Larry Kudlow told reporters on Monday, and we don't want to create disincentives to work. You know, what they're saying is an actual insult. So what they're saying is, if you keep giving the $600, then these folks are lazy, they won't go back to work. That's what they're really saying. And that's not true. That was not true. A lot of people were working pre-coronavirus and had no problem working, and they were not lazy. So again, what are these Republicans basing this on? What are they basing it? We don't know where they're coming from. Okay, so we're creating a technical formula that will give 70% of the wage before a worker was laid off, but you don't have a system right now that is set up to do that. To be sure, some workers are earning more on unemployment than they did while working, 2/3 to be exact. That's according to May research by the University of Chicago experts who found that 1 in 5 laid off workers could earn as much as double their lost wages through the extra unemployment pay. Yet, while some individuals might opt to collect unemployment rather than to return to work, that doesn't appear to be happening on a large scale. About 7 in 10 people who returned to the labor force in May had received more in jobless benefits than they did while working. Evercore ISI economist Ernie Tedeschi told Yahoo Money. So there were people that returned back to work in May, and they overwhelmingly returned back, although they were getting the extra $600. So it's actually the opposite of what the Republicans are trying to say. Of the workers who got rehired out of UI in June, 70% were likely getting UI benefits greater than their prior wage. Okay, so there's your proof that people didn't have a problem returning back to work. Again, this is really debunking what these Republicans are saying. Out of work adults may be going back to work rather than collect benefits for one simple reason. People who snub suitable job offers are disqualified from receiving unemployment. That includes workers who are furloughed, and those employers then ask them to return to work, the Yale economists note. Their study analyzed data from Homebase, which offers scheduling and time clock software to small businesses, many of which are in the restaurant, fitness, and other sectors, were slammed by the pandemic. Many of those employees earned low wages, suggesting that they were likely to see their income jump from the expanded unemployment benefits, they noted. Yet the research indicates that the higher jobless pay didn't discourage workers from returning to their jobs over time, the economists wrote. We note that our results do not necessarily imply that such responses do not exist. Rather, they suggest that expanding unemployment generosity has not depressed employment in the slightest. So what are they talking about? Again, this is just something they made up just to justify giving people less, but they don't have any actual data that backs them up. So the data is saying the opposite of what the Republicans are saying. Many of these workers were collecting unemployment. They were getting the extra $600, but when their jobs called them back to work, they overwhelmingly went back to work. Oh, these people, if they just tell the truth one day in their life, that would absolutely be shocking. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.